the top of the Continental Divide, American soldiers are learning the highly specialized art of mountain warfare, as no other soldiers have learned it before. Camp Hale, high in the Colorado Rockies. Here the United States Army has its great mountain training center. Here, surrounded by the awe-inspiring grandeur of towering snow-clad peaks, our mountain divisions are being trained for the vital role they will play in the destruction of the Axis. And what men they are, every one a volunteer. Many are world-famous skiers and mountain climbers. Many are amateurs, and many are greenhorns. Men from the ski slopes of New England, and men from the high Sierras of California. Men from Norway, and men from Denmark. Men from Sweden, and men from Switzerland. Yes, even men from Germany and Italy. These are the United States Mountain Troops. Oh, give me tea and the moon. Let me see where you're on. Take your clothes and everywhere I go, I walk.
Morning, Rickman. Your intelligence report just came in from Washington. Looks like you had quite a time of it.
Things are very bad in Norway, sir.
I must say you look a good deal older than 26, Rickman.
The Nazis have a way of changing a man's looks, if not his politics.
You'll get your chance to avenge your homeland.
May the chance come soon, sir. Good day, sir.
What's the matter with you, Evers? See a ghost? Who was that just went in? It's a new man by the name of Reckner. Oh, Reckner. You sure that's his name? G2 Intelligence says so. That's good enough for me. Why? Nothing. I just thought I recognized him for a minute, that's all. All right, man. Here the barracks. Well, it ain't the answer.
Hey, get all over the beauty rest.
It'll feel like one, Silver, after you spend a day on the slopes. Now, listen, you man. These are new barracks, and they're clean. And you're expected to keep them that way.
Hey, what time do we start skiing, Sergeant Blake?
When we learn how, Mr. Kramer. What you got in that suitcase, the trunk?
No, that's my equipment. See, I've been pretty up on skiing, and for crying out loud, are you kidding? A regular snow bunny. Say, where are you from, Kramer?
Iowa. But I took my basic training in California. That's why I volunteered for the mountain troops.
Well, you're in them, not at a winter resort. You can take these zoot suits outside and burn them.
Okay, your turns will come. When I take a look at this bunch, I really feel sorry for your instructors.
It's a lucky thing for you guys. Lieutenant Evers is a patient man.
Evers?
Yeah,
Not Dale Evers.
that's right. I suppose you and him are buddies.
Well,
Cut that daydreaming, son. The next thing you know, you'll be thinking you can outjump him.
Now, you do know Evers.
Well, not exactly. You see, I saw him jump several years ago in Norway against Sven Torger.
Verdi Alita Norski National Mas...
Excuse me.
What's the medal for, Rickman?
Why, I wanted to school for swimming.
Oh. Hey, was this Sven Torger a better jumper than Evers?
Well, it seems there's some argument about that. Evers said he should be disqualified on some technical one. He had to break his own world record, though, to do it.
It's too bad he didn't break his neck instead of joining up with them Nazis. All right, men, you can finish unpacking later. We're taking off to the supply room to get you new equipment.
The American mountain trooper is one of the best equipped fighting men in the world. He must train and fight at heights where the temperature is also his enemy. Thus, each article of clothing is not only designed for warmth and durability, but when packed in a rucksack, the whole must not weigh over 45 pounds. Besides, the trooper must carry rifle and ammunition and move over all kinds of terrain at the fastest possible speed. Oh, don't let it throw you, Bob. At last, the trainees are marched out for their first ski instruction. For 8 weeks, 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, these men will be taught the highly specialized art of military skiing.
If we're going to learn to ski, why don't we bring our skis? They're going to teach us certain fundamentals first. You seem to know an awful lot about the skiing business already, Ola. Maybe, perhaps a little. I'm a Norwegian.
Company! Halt!
This man, Reckner, have you been able to place him yet, Evers?
No, not yet. But I'm sure I've seen him someplace before.
Half company reporting for ski instruction, sir.
Very good, Sergeant. At ease.
You men are here to learn military skiing. Some of you have skied as civilians and followed certain standard techniques. You will find that the Army has added to the best of these techniques to create better ones of its own. Military skiing is control skiing, and its primary purpose is to move men and equipment over difficult terrain, not only as speedily as possible, but without accident. Always remember that there is good reason in everything your instructor teaches you. For your own safety, learn these things well. That's all. Good luck and good skiing. Take over, Evers. All right, men. You and the snow are going to become a little better acquainted.
First, the new man learns the simplest movement in skiing, walking on the level. This to give him balance, feel, and poise. These all add up confidence in his new medium.
Doing all right, Kramer.
Hey, this is a cinch.
Now, Bob? Hayes.
Yes, sir. Watch my technique.
All right, that's enough. You may not do any better.
Maybe I should have taken up yodeling instead.
Next, the men learn steps and marching, another important fundamental of military skiing. Watch them as they perform infantry maneuvers on skis, with all the ease and precision of the soldiers of the flatlands.
Ski interval, dress right, pace. Left, pace. About, pace. By the right flank, touch.
Yes, the mountain troopers must know their drill and discipline, for on their ability to move as a unit may depend the success or failure of a battle. Now the men are taught how to attain ski speed on the level. The one step is an easy glide that creates moderate speed for short distances. The two-step permits more speed and enables the skier to rest the muscles by using them differently. The cycle is in the two-count rhythm of step, lunge, and thrust. Last is the skating stride, a graceful and pleasant variation of the other steps and useful for gradual descents in hard snow. Once the boys have mastered these, they are ready to tackle slope climbing.
All right, men. Watch closely, and I'll demonstrate 3 different methods of ascending a slope. First, the herringbone. The herringbone's used for short, steep climbs. Now the traverse. The traverse is used for longer, more gradual slopes. Last, the side step. The side step is used only in deep, soft snow where more efficient methods can't be used. The kick turn.
All right, Ricker, let's see you do the herringbone. Yes, sir.
Now the traverse. Now the side step. Okay, kick turn and come on down. Not bad for a beginner. Peculiar style, but good.
Thank you, sir.
Very much in the order of a Norwegian champion I used to know, Sven Torgen.
It is indeed a compliment, sir.
Oh, never mind. All right, Kramer, go ahead.
From what I know, Reckner's a phony. All that bunk about a year and a half in a concentration camp.
You does a pretty thorough job in checking a man's record, Evers.
Olaf Reckner, Norwegian, age 26. 13 months in Nazi concentration camp. Escaped to the United States and applied immediately for service in the U.S. Army. Transferred to mountain troops approved by G2, War Department, Washington. Signed by Colonel Gilmore. That's what I've got to go by. Nevertheless, we'll keep our eyes on it.
During weeks of rigorous instruction, the new men have learned fast. And finally comes the day when they're ready for their military ski test, which must be passed with full winter equipment.
Everybody,
Hold! Right. Hey! Press left. Press. Men have passed the preliminary tests and on the level and up the hill skiing. Now comes the hardest and most important part, downhill. Just keep your heads and remember your instructions. How's the moisture? Red or blue? Red! Red. Guess the Reds have it. All right, man, wax your skis.
Red wax and paraffin worked into the hickory surfaces with the palm of the hand and a piece of cork. This to keep the snow from caking the skis and slowing a man on those high-speed turns. Yes, the mountain trooper must know his waxes for every type of snow terrain. Here comes the T-bar out of the base station, and it's all aboard for the ski lift to the summit of Cooper Hill. So get going, gang. You're due for a long ride. At some 7 miles per hour, the powerful lift hauls its human freight up the steep 1.25-mile slope. Up, up, and up to an altitude of 11,000 feet. This beats herringboning or traversing up the hard way. Yes, the Camp Hale ski lift is one of the most powerful and efficient in the world. And that's what's needed to haul these huskies. Once on the summit, the men take up positions for the first phase of the military ski test. It's do or die now, gang.
Some trolley ride. But I'll bet it'll be a lot faster going down. Boy, I hope we don't muff this qualification test.
We won't. Better tighten your rucksack so it doesn't throw your balance.
With your experience, they ought to be an instructor, Olaf.
I don't want that. I want only to be a soldier, to fight.
And here they come, shooting down the long white slope like a string of comets. Watch them do that first fast turn, still keeping formation as they change direction. Then into another turn and moving faster still. From this, they start a stem Christiania, and now they're really getting hot. Swish! And they're whirling down in a high-speed Christie that requires plenty of real control. Yes, those long weeks of training are showing amazing results. But the worst is yet to come. And we don't mean this unscheduled spill either. For there's timber ahead, and that means bushwhacking through it to the safety of the open slope beyond. A man's got to know his turns here. One false move of ski or ski pole, and he'll be messing up the scenery. But most of the boys are coming through, hitting down the long slope for home with the last lap of the military ski test as good as won.
Man, Rick, that's amazing.
Yeah, too amazing.
Whee! I made it! Today I am a mountain trooper!
Or am I?
Ordered for overseas duty, boarding the troop train. That long-awaited day has arrived. The strenuous weeks of training are over. They're all real mountain fighters, hardened, deadly efficient. More than a match for anything the Axis can throw against them. Yes, it's been tough skiing for these boys, and they've certainly had their ups and downs. But at last it's goodbye to Camp Hale, goodbye to the Rockies they've climbed and conquered. Maneuvers are over. Now the real fighting starts. They're on their way for action overseas. For somewhere in the mountains of Europe, today for the first time, American mountain troops, well-equipped, well-trained and determined, are fighting side by side with the United Nations in the inevitable destruction of the Nazi war machine. Here they are, moving toward the high country for the first contact with the enemy. And you can bet these boys who trained in the Rockies will give more than a good account of themselves.
Kramer!
Germans preparing a machine gun emplacement just ahead.
Take this message to Captain Howard. Don't take any chances, but hurry. Yes, sir.
What is it, Kramer? I almost ran into a hornet's nest. There are two enemy groups approaching on our rear.
How far back?
About 1,000 yards. You can see them from that first drop-off.
Down below, outnumbering the American patrol 10-1, an entire Nazi battalion is slowly closing in. Another Nazi battalion gradually closing the trap. Slowly, the Nazis advance.
counted wrong, Kramer. There are 3 groups, and they're moving in a wide circle with heavy equipment.
Look out in the pocket, meat.
If they establish positions on this ridge, our whole battalion could be wiped out. Take over, Blake. We've got to hold this ridge. Hold out as long as you can. I'll try to bring help. Okay, men. Deploy and take cover.
But even while the small American patrol deploys, the Nazis attack. Nazi troopers level their sights.
Down, Richter, down! Down, I say, take cover! Come back, you fool! No, Lieutenant, he's going for help. You're crazy. That dirty traitor's going back to his Nazi friends. With the information he's got.
Shooting down through the Nazi patrols, Rickner flashes on to a rendezvous with destiny.
I'm going to try and slip a couple of pineapples to that machine gun nest.
That's one less Nazi machine gunner, but in spite of losses, the Nazis gradually close in. American mortars go into action. But as if from nowhere, American reinforcements arrive.
M1s. Must be our outfit. But how could...
Cover the race from both directions, Lafferty. Take charge of the prisoners, Smith.
Yes, sir. The battle is over, and the Axis battalions are rounded up.
Is your patrol intact, Uppers?
Sergeant Blake's checking the men now, sir. Rickner broke out on us, but I don't think you'll find him among the prisoners.
It so happens that Rickner's the man that told us about your predicament. And he gave us the position of the main enemy forces.
I told you went for help, sir. He said that if he didn't get through, I was to give you this. He also said something about hoping that you wouldn't try to disqualify him this time.
Beg pardon, sir. I disobeyed an order.
Skip it. Answer me one question, Torger. Why have you always insisted on using the name Rickner?
Well, sir, my family, my people.
It's to the Navy. If the Gestapo should...
I get it.
Here, Sven. Wear it.
I won't try to have you disqualified this time.
Thank you, sir.
There they go, the hard-hitting mountain troopers, the fighting daredevils of the heights, America's proud contribution to the battles of the high country, marching steadily forward beside their comrades of the United Nations. They conquer mountains and men, that liberty might live forever as they fight on to victory.